Good morning again, everyone. I'm Jeff King. I am a teacher of science and Chinese at Camden County Technical Schools in New Jersey. But I'd like to consider myself the commander of the spaceship, head of the Alliance Chemistry team, and working together with students to solve some of the universe's most difficult and challenging problems. That's kind of how I fantasize myself. That's kind of always who I wanted to be, this space badass, right? Who could take anyone down with chemistry, of all things, all right? So that's kind of who I picture myself being in this classroom, all right? And what I've just shown you is that's how I introduce, that's how I talk to my class on day. When I do the same thing, I stand outside my door and I walk up to someone when they enter the room and I say, "Hi, I'm Commander King. Welcome aboard the SS King 304, and you are?" Stuart Ray, Specialist Ray, welcome aboard. Please find your space pod number on the board, have a seat, and be ready to launch. And so when students see that, they're a little bit taken aback. They're not sure what to think, right? And so they're a little confused. And I have other students who I've had in previous years as sophomores, because I've had them in Chinese, and these are mostly juniors. And they come in with all their Chinese that they've forgotten over the summer, but they remember one thing, and that's, "Oh, 你好, Jing Lao Shi." So they're running up. And so what I do is, again, I calmly step forward and I say, "I am Commander King, welcome aboard, and you are?" Rhonda, last name? From. Welcome aboard, Miss Specialist from. Okay. And these students who have had me for Chinese, they're looking at me like I'm speaking a completely new language, different than English, different than Chinese. And they're like, "Oh no, what does this guy have planned for this year?" Okay. So they take a seat, everyone's taking a seat, and I show them that video of the Admiral Baroda and tell them we are going on a space journey. Okay, we're going on a space journey. And so they sit down and they've seen that, and of course you always got that kid in the class who's like, "What is this, elementary school? Are you kidding me? Like, this is a joke, right?" And then there are other students. You get another student who's on the edge of the seat and shaking uncontrollably, and like, "Oh my God, I've always wanted to do astronomy all my life. I've always been an astrologist, and now all my dreams are going to come true." And you're just like, "All right, guys, calm down. It's not that exciting. This is good, but it's not going to be that good, right?" And everyone else is a little bit in between. But what they do know, what everyone knows, is that this is going to be a very different class. And more importantly, this is going to be a very, very different type of science that they're going to have. Okay, and I hope to communicate that to them at the start of the year. Okay. Two objectives for today. I apologize. I made this packet briefing on Tuesday, and then I was reworking, going through it, and I realized, oh, this kind of sucks, my presentation, so I kind of reworded some things and put some different things in different places, so I do apologize. It doesn't follow everything word for word and line for line and slide for slide, because I did add some things. But my objective today is really two things. I'm here to convince you that creating an immersive environment for students, in this case the space ethic, okay, increases student engagement and as a result student learning. Because that's what we do as educators, right? We want students to be engaged, we want them to be learning. And the second thing that I hope to convince you of is by making this immersive environment and the space theme, it becomes very easy to incorporate STEM topics into the curriculum in a meaningful way. And the way I think about it is this. If you're solving a true problem, an authentic problem that is worth solving in this world, you are not just going to be able to use chemistry to solve that problem. You're going to have to pull biology and physics and engineering and mathematics. There's no way, or very few problems that you can solve solely with chemistry that are worth solving. So that's my two goals for today. Here's the plan. So we're launching. I don't know if you feel it, but we're kind of getting into space a little bit. Hopefully we don't all start floating soon. Probably should have made some seatbelts on these seats or something. But the first thing I want to establish is what is the problem with STEM? And you've heard this like 10 times probably up to this point. Like, what's the problem with STEM? Here's the problem with STEM. Here's the problem with STEM. So I try to keep this one short to why I made this space theme. What inspired me to create this space theme. Then we're going to explore a few units. You're going to have a choice. We can explore two different types of missions that I've designed. So we'll take a vote on that one. So we can see, okay, so like, are you interested in this mission or this mission? And then we'll have a choice. Then I want to kind of give you a sense of what I think STEM will look like 10 years into the future, or what it should look like. And I might cut that out if we're running a little low on time, because this is pretty tight. And then in the landing phase, I'll show you what my students think. I have data I got from giving a mid-year assessment and say, okay, what do the students think about this space thing? Okay. All right. Now, before we begin, I haven't used this before, but I figured I'd try. All right, this is todaysmeet.com/CommanderKing. It's also on the front of your packet, the link, but it's basically kind of a back channel. In other words, like you can talk to your peers without mind knowing them. You know, you could type things like, this presentation really sucks, and your peer can say, all right, yeah, I agree, like, let's get out of here, all right? So you can kind of talk in the background, or ask questions, you know, ask questions to each other, say, I actually like that idea, or give me feedback saying, you know, I really like that point, I think that's something you could work off, or I think, have you tried this, things like that. So communicate with me. If you have your iPad or your phone, whatever you need, if you want to try that, communicate. Ask any questions, and I'll try to take a look at this once in a while during the presentation as well, when I'm showing a video or anything, to see kind of what comments you guys have. If you have any questions, please feel free to type those. But you can also ask at any moment. You can just stop me and say, stop. Can you go over that again? Or can you, I have a question about this. Feel free to stop me at any time during this presentation. So that's there as a resource if you want to talk to anyone else in the room. Okay, so it's a pretty neat resource, but I'm not sure how applicable it's going to be in